How I memorized a 300-page book in one night, without selling my soul or melting my brain. You ever stare at a 300-page book the night before a test and think, yeah, this is how I die? Same. Your brain's already fried from scrolling TikTok for 6 hours. You've got the attention span of a squirrel on Red Bull, and now, magically, you're supposed to absorb the entire history of Dead Things Volume 3 before sunrise? Relax. I figured out how to memorize that beast in one night. No Adderall, no black magic. Just raw desperation, psychological manipulation, and caffeine levels that could kill a horse. And because I love you, kinda, I'm giving you 10 savage strategies that helped me go from I'm gonna fail to I might be the second coming of Einstein. Let's go. Burn the book, emotionally. First thing I did? I declared war on the book. That's right. I didn't see it as a reading assignment. I saw it as a monster boss fight. You know that scene in anime where the protagonist suddenly gets serious, their hair flies up, music hits, and they go full Ultra Instinct? Yeah, that was me staring at Chapter 1 like, you will not ruin my GPA, you papery little demon. Emotional engagement activates memory. If you're bored, your brain forgets. If you're angry, your brain takes notes. So go ahead, roast the author. Argue with the characters. Pretend every sentence insulted your mother. Turn passive reading into psychological warfare. The reverse reading cheat code. Here's the wild part. I didn't start from page 1. I started from the last chapter. Why? Because your brain loves closure. By reading the end first, you create mental anchors. Now, when you go back to the beginning, everything connects faster. It's like watching the last 10 minutes of a movie, then going back and picking up on all the clues you missed. Plus, spoiler alert, most authors repeat the important stuff at the end anyway. You're welcome. The Memory Palace trick. That's not BS. You've heard of the Memory Palace, right? Sounds like Hogwarts, but it's real. I imagined every chapter as a room in a mansion. Chapter 1 was the garage. Chapter 2, the kitchen. Chapter 3, my emotionally unstable aunt's attic. Inside each room, I visualized the key info. Example. Chapter 1 was about the Industrial Revolution. I imagined steam-powered toasters and robots screaming "factory good" in a garage. It's stupid, but it works. Your brain remembers absurd images better than bland facts. So go ahead. Fill your imaginary house with chaotic weirdness. Use the 20-5-2 looping system. Here's the system that saved me from complete mental collapse. 20 minutes of intense focus. 5-minute break to stretch. Stare into the void. Question your life choices. 2-minute speed recall where you recite everything you just learned. Why the 2 minutes? Because active recall beats rereading 1,000 times. Studies say we forget 70% of what we read after 24 hours. But when you test yourself, retention shoots through the roof. So yeah, reading is cool, but quizzing yourself like a paranoid lunatic is cooler. Talk like you're explaining to a toddler. If you can't explain it to a 5-year-old, you don't get it. So I literally pretended I was explaining the book to a confused toddler. Okay, Timmy, supply and demand means when people want the last bag of hot Cheetos, but there's only one left. Dumb? Yes. Effective? Hell yes. It forces your brain to translate complexity into simplicity, and that's how memory locks in. Also, no offense, but you were that toddler when you first read complex material. Weaponized text-to-speech robots. I copied each chapter into a text-to-speech tool and let the AI read it while I closed my eyes. Why? Because your brain loves variety. Reading plus listening equals double encoding. Also, robotic voices are strangely hypnotic when you're 7 hours deep into panic mode. Bonus tip. Play it at 1.5x speed. It forces your brain to keep up, like cognitive cardio. The answer first method. This one's evil genius. Instead of reading and hoping to understand, I flipped to the questions at the end of each chapter first. Now I had a mission. I wasn't aimlessly reading, I was sniping for answers. And the funny thing is, most textbooks are written like lazy YouTubers. They repeat the same crap in every section. So once I found one answer, I found four more accidentally. Questions first, read second, remember third, profit fourth. Blur the lines between sleep and study. Yes, I'm about to say it, nap. But not just any nap. Right after reviewing a chapter, I'd take a 20-minute power nap. Why? Because your brain stores memories during sleep. It's like hitting save after typing a crazy rant into Notepad. Study, nap, retain, repeat. I call it neurohacking for dummies. Also, it gave me an excuse to lie down and not hate life. Create emotional anchors with music. Each major section I studied had its own soundtrack. Chapter on World War II? Dramatic orchestral music? Chapter on economics? Lo-fi beats to cry to. Chapter on ethics? The Minecraft soundtrack, obviously. Later, when I heard that same music, my brain whispered, "Hey, remember when Germany invaded Poland?" Music wires emotion to memory. Just make sure you're not blasting Travis Scott while trying to understand quantum mechanics. That's how you end up crying in the shower. Gaslight yourself into genius mode. And finally, the most chaotic but effective strategy of all, lie to yourself. I kept repeating, I'm a genius. I absorb information like a sponge. My brain is a freaking supercomputer. Did I believe it? Did it work? Yes, because mindset hacks your performance. Just like placebo pills actually fix headaches, placebo thoughts fix your brain's confidence. So, yeah, gaslight yourself until you actually are that smart person you're pretending to be. Fake it. Force it. Fool your neurons. So, did I actually memorize the entire 300-page book in one night? Yes. Do I remember it now? Absolutely not. But I passed the test. And in a world that rewards performance over permanence, that's all that matters. If this video saved your grades, or at least saved your soul from a mental breakdown, smash that like button like it owes you rent. And share it with that one friend who's currently crying over a textbook while eating noodles. Catch you in the next one. And remember, you're not dumb, you're just studying wrong.